So it seems there's been quite the disturbing development when it comes to the drama that I can't do the classic more Pegasus intro because it will come off in poor taste. And I think I kind of just have to show you on what is going on the implication of what Saint Saintontas is trying to imply, that regardless of how angry you are, this type of implication is so off field, such disgusting type of implication in it. Just implying it is disturbing. And I want you to think about what happened with Genazad back in the day. Because if you remember, Genazad has been implied, Saint has implied that Genazad is a PDF for having an S6 Roshia, and it being the only character he has in an S6, right? This is the narrative he's painting. This is obviously a warping reality and insinuating something that is obviously not there. But when you try and paint it like that and you poke fun of people like that, especially for the chronically online, a lot of people could run with that, unfortunately, because the thing is, something to always remember, a lot of people like to farm validation points online through other people. That's what a lot of people do. Like, they just want to have some level of moral high ground, or they want to find flaws in you as a person to poke fun at you so that they can feel better about themselves. This is the only logical explanation to the phenomena as to why actively people seek out negative information on others and keep clowning on them for the sake of what? For the sake of just having fun at other people's expense, or if it's not more than that, in the sense of I get to feel better about myself because I just clowned on this guy who happens to be a CC and all that. So a lot of people, unfortunately, are somewhat immature and childish, especially on the chronically online department. And so if you thought that was bad, as in he just insinuated someone is a PDF, and you have a lot of people still calling them a PDF to this very day, it got worse. It got disturbingly worse. Now, before we get into that, I was just shown this VOD from Egg. Shouts out to Egg. And where Saint just said the following.
You shouldn't bring his family members into this. I'm not. I'm saying that this is the guy who preaches about being a responsible, mature person, and he's taking actions that are absolutely the opposite of.
So I want you to remember that and see how it doesn't age well. I want you to keep that in mind. Now, before we get into that, I have been shown, I've been sent something that apparently Saint Tontas called me out. Apparently it's my turn, chat. Now it's me. I'm entering the ring. I don't know what this is. This is my first time looking at it. We're gonna see it together, and I'm gonna give my, as always, my honest thoughts. So let's take a listen. This is 17 seconds. Oh, it's literally by Egg. We just had that man on screen, man. That man, I think it's Egg, CJ, and it could be like DJ and King. These guys are spawn camping clips off Saint Tontas' stream. These guys are the true Saint Tontas hate channels. This is crazy. These are. That is crazy, man. But anyway, let's take a listen, chat.
And we'll see what VXV we'll see what VXV deserves. What about V? Like, sometimes V is retarded, sometimes V isn't. It's like V is actually like V is like Schrodinger's retard. Sometimes he's dumb as fuck, sometimes he's base. I don't really know how to
I'm Schrodinger's retard. That was funny. You know what? Points for funny. You know what? Points for Schrodinger's retard is pretty good, man. Sometimes you're stupid. But wait. Isn't everybody a Schrodinger's retard? We're all good sometimes, and sometimes we're stupid. So that's everybody. Everybody's done sometimes. Exactly. So, okay, I guess anyway. So I guess I'm just like everybody else. So whatever. All right. Okay. So hold on. Let's look at chat. I'm gay. Yo, chat. V is gay. Whoa. Oh, cat's out of the bag. Oh, chat. Great sword exposed me, man. He just exposed my sexuality to the entire planet. I have V was fair today. V do be trying neutral unk, but it's hard. Yo, hey. Shouts out to Saints chat. Look at that. WV based. He doesn't hate you though. We have good folk, man.
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
You know what? Maybe I'm self-glazing too much.
We probably gonna be reacting, making another video about this whole thing. Hey, maybe we're gonna explore some of your Ameth takes. You daughter fucker. Right? Weren't you like fucking Goody like crazy? There like a clip of him saying he want to fuck Ameth after finding out that she's supposed to be like the daughter character.
See, a lot of people could go, you know what? It's just like, it's already bad. Like, you know what? Never mind. It's so bad. Like, there is nothing. There is literally nothing. There is no nuance. Mr. Neutral cannot be neutral. I cannot be neutral, chat. There's no way. There's nothing. Dude, I wrapped my head around this shit since yesterday night. I was in CJ's stream. He showed me this. I was taken back. I was baffled. I couldn't believe what I was hearing or seeing. The implication is nuts. I don't think after comments like this, associating with Saint has just become probably the biggest negative PR by association someone can do in the gacha space. I'm not exaggerating. Because implying okay, let's break this down for a bit. Ameth is a grown woman in a video game, right? Now, I want you to sit down for the people the very rare people, because I don't even think Saint's chat is going to look at this and go, oh yeah, you showed him. There's no one in this God's green earth that's going to look at that and go, oh hell yeah. Unless like the mentally deranged. It's like, Ameth is not your daughter. It's Rover's daughter. Sit down, chat. I want you to sit down. It's a shocking thing I'm about to say. You are not Rover. You are not from space. You is from planet Earth, right? The Exostrider isn't here yet. Maybe if AI takes over, we might start having Exostriders. And most importantly, you are not in Solaris. All right?
Then I would carry her up to these stairs, get a fucking lunge in while I'm at it, get some quad work in, some hamstrings, and then I would put her on this table and I would fucking stroke even further, bro. Then I would put her on these goddamn, what are these, bro? Like goddamn beanbag chairs, and she would sit on it. And then after that, we would fuck on this chair. And then after that, we would go to the bed. I get that creepy ass cat. I kick that nigga off this fucking balcony because that nigga's creepy as shit. Bro, look like he belongs in Persona. Get your fat head ass out of here, brother.
That's the type of plushie that has cameras on him and shit.
Nut in, and then I would get in this.
Yo, but by the way, Smack sure is different, man. Some people in chat are saying he was talking about Lupa. Can we find one from his VOD? Can we find the one from his VOD where he says it's Lupa?
I need some snuggles. Last time I was in a setting like this, I had a fat booty bitch named Lupa, and she wanted me to give her some back shots, and we was putting on some Netflix and chill right here, and she was tipsy. Yeah, I remember that shit. I ain't forget. What the fuck is this pad, bro? This pad goes crazy, nigga. What the fuck, bro? Brother, what the fuck is this pad, bro? Look at these stairs. I would give her back shots on these stairs while the fire is in the background making those lovely sounds. Then I would carry her up to these stairs.
It is Lupa. Smack wasn't even talking about Ameth. He was talking about Lupa. No, Saint lied. Saintontas lied. No, he lied, man.
Boys, we was talking about fucking Lupa. You know what I'm saying? Lupa fat booty ass.
There it is. He corrected it again for anybody that was confused. Smack went once again and said, we're talking about Lupa.
Came over to our new hotel and we was giving that bitch mad back shots. Her tail was like wagging and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking her on the couch. You know what I'm saying? On the ceiling, bro.
And this chat, if you look at chat, there's been like some are saying Epstein, Smack, etc. Like they're confused as well. But he once again made sure there's no confusion. It is Lupa.
Entered her forte circuit, nigga. She gave us that like crazy Lupa smile. Shit was insane, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was wild, bro.
This is not looking good for Saint, man. This is not looking good for Saint at all. Now that we have, I guess we have dismantled the, let's just say what Saint's glue to imply what the very disgusting thing he implied for Smack there. I guess we now have to go to the doxing part. All right, let's go back to the doxing part. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place, but there's a lot going on, a lot to dissect. And I'll be honest with you, I'm still stun-locked by even this happening in the first place. Like, I truly am. So let's look into the doxing part. Saint already, of course, to no one's surprise, made a video about all this. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a series. So let's just say Saint is gonna do the legendary series. I think he just lost like 100 subscribers after all this started, which is weird, but not surprising at all, I guess, considering if everybody's with him 100% supporting this type of behavior, we'd have more people, pulling up to the fray, but I guess not, because obviously this is very reprehensible behavior. So we're gonna watch the doxing part here, and kind of what Saint is trying to say from all this situation. Oh, sorry, and see what Saint is gonna argue the entire situation. So I guess Saint, you got the floor, my man.
Me. And the reason why he decided to, gentlemen, video that you're seeing before you clicked it, it's not titled righty, ladies and gentlemen. I regret to inform you that the title, the thumbnail, everything going on with this video that you're seeing before you clicked it, it's not actually clickbait. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Gacha Smack actually doxed me. And the reason why he decided to dox me on this stream over here, which I do believe had about, you can see that it was a very, very, very popular stream. I wonder why. Maybe because he used my name, right? This was a stream that at certain points, I think had like 2,500 CCV. And what Gacha Smack did was reveal to his entire audience, fucking audience, information scrubbed from my social media that dates back to maybe 8 or even 9 years ago. Potentially
Social media by default is public. If you don't want something for people to see them, do not put it in social media. That's how you really protect it.
even to a decade ago. And due to the fact that he simply does not understand what the word doxing even means in any context, used a bunch of justification to reason for why he was deciding to show things like leaked DMs, things like leaked photos of me, etc., etc. He just went ahead, barreled right through it, and then, of course, was gassed on by a bunch of yes men from across the community, from, of course, on his moderation team, and, of course, in his DMs. And so that is...
Oh, Saints, you gotta be careful of that too, man. Yeah, yes. While people can definitely be gassed up, that applies to you as well, man. You want to be careful because a strong argument can be made for. It's kind of what's happening with you too, man. Hence, why your mannerism is kind of going a little insano.
Well, let's just hear a little bit about where the animosity is coming from.
Our 15th spat. But like that was the real straw, and then this broke the camel's back. This right.
He's basically saying that Wuthering Waves anniversary takes was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that led to all of the other shit over here. I think the funny thing about this live stream is that he decides to basically split it with one of his sponsored streams. So essentially, he spends like the first 2 hours and 30 minutes leaking DMs, doxing me, etc., and then jumps into a sponsored stream for Enfield, which I'm just gonna be honest, it is kind of brave, but I'm not sure how Arknights would feel about well, a stream getting split up like that. Anyways, that's just some of the context over.
I don't think they give a fuck, man. I seriously don't think they give a... Here's the thing, man. For all the viewers, man, because I know a lot of you guys are, you're not aware of how things go with sponsors. And while Saint is trying to say is that, there's a certain degree of professionalism and to be expected from that, the reality is it's not always the case. Like, sponsors are very flexible, they're very kind and still professional. Like, they're like, look, here's what we expect from you, do it, here's the result we want, do it at your own pace and do it how you want to. Some give you certain conditions, but for the most part, they're very flexible, man. They're very chill. Shouts out to the sponsors, man. Sleepy Julo, I recognize you, man. Appreciate the follow, man. Good to have you here. How can you say so much that results in nothing? Well, he got the bag. The company got attention needed. It's a win, actually. Exactly. That's all. The result, especially nowadays, I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but we live in a world now that results is all that matters.
Okie gotcha guy who mods for Smack. If I was Smack, I'd remove him too. And the situation that we're talking about over here is the fact that Tectone decided to remove Sarah of the Abyss, or Sarah of the Lake, I'm not sure, Schizo of the something, right? From their moderation team following their very, very, very bad public looks, just tweeting about me ad nauseum, I think, for the past 3 months. Yeah, it was really...
Yeah, Sarah, unfortunately, she got a little too emotional when it comes to that and behaved in a mannerism that, let's just say, is bad PR, to say the least. Sorry, Sarah, we call it for what it is.
A very bad look, accusing me of things like viewbotting, going so far as to like monitor all of my streams for when I was getting viewbotted by somebody else, and then like pinging Twitch support. Sarah's also on the record like pinging FBI director
Yeah, Sarah is yeah, that was like everybody was like, all right, that's a schizo level over 9,000. I think you know what, the level of bias is crazy.
Yeah, no, they did get unmodded. Yeah, the confirmation is right there. I'm pretty sure Tectone has already said it publicly on his stream as well. So that's the context for why we're talking about unmodding problematic individuals that are, well, on our mod team, because that's something that another CC in the space that I really respect, that's something that they did. Because unfortunately, right, if there ever is,
I don't think Loki is schizoing out as much as Sarah. Am I tripping? Am I crazy? Loki has a hate channel on you, basically. Yeah, he has a gacha channel, and his most successful videos are about hating you, basically. So he's just farming you, man. It's not the same as schizoing out online. So it's like, hey, Loki, get your back, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
This is the thing. This is my problem with this. What do you mean if there ever is a situation that arises? Why the
a situation like this, Gotcha Smack, where you get butthurt over woo-wah anniversary takes and you decide to start leaking DMs, dox me, do all of this stuff on a stream that's catered towards me that lasts for 2 hours and 30 minutes because you're crashing out so much? That is the situation that I talked about over here. That's the situation that
I'll be honest, man. Like when it comes to drama, like that bitch can stretch to like hours easily. Okay, we've been live for like an hour and a half. Like that shit stretches, man. That shit stretches. Drama takes a long time to go through, man. Especially when you have to look at receipts and everything. Man, there's so much to go over.
Literally predicted. And so being this confused about something that you're actively doing is, I'm just gonna be honest, it makes me think you're a little retarded.
fuck are you schizoing out?
How am I schizoing out when it's literally happening? Like, you can already see the character assassination already begin. Imply that I'm schizoing out. Imply that this is something that doesn't make sense. Imply that the worries, the concern that I have is not realistic, as he literally does it live. I don't think I've ever seen a response this tone deaf before. And of course, right, Smack is just getting gassed up by the entire Saint hate community. Unfortunately, he has a terminal case of Saint derangement syndrome. Not really able to
There's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack here. Saint, for Christ's sake, you provoked the guy. He does not have any syndrome. You provoked him. It's like you step on someone's shoes, you slap him in the face, and then you're surprised they're fighting back. It's like, what? Of course they're gonna do that.
Third reality
About a situation arise, there should never be a situation that arises. What? I'm so confused, bro.
How?
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, huh?
Like, bro, it's really just as simple as me saying, hey, Smack, your mod is literally doxing me. And this is the thing, his mod literally did do that. And Smack doesn't understand what the definition of doxing is and defended his mod tooth and nail to imply that it wasn't happening when all of his reasoning and his entire defense is based off of the fact that he doesn't understand what words mean. That's one of the unfortunate results of, I think, not going to college, because I'm pretty sure Gotcha Smack does not have a college degree.
He's literally building a house, chat. Yo, chat, type 1 if you give a fuck about the college degree while someone is building a house. Type 2 if you're like, well, to be successful, you need a college degree. Like an old-ass boomer. Type 2 if you think that. As I'll be honest, man, I don't think it matters. Degrees do not matter if you have the success and result in life. I'm pretty sure, yo, chat, you know what? Let's do something else. For all the college graduates, type 1 if you're happy that you graduated from college. Type 2 if you're like, man, this shit useless. I can't even get a job with this damn degree, bro. This shit useless as hell, bro. There's some ones, there's some twos, man. There it is, man. There it is. And there it is. Like, sorry, Saint. This is a boomer ass take. This is boomer as fuck. The world has changed. College degrees barely matter.
Hey, Smack, your mod is literally doxing me.
And so this is another education moment.
It's ironic that he says this because he has no idea what he's talking about.
Chat, can I get a hand raise in chat if you remember when I had to educate this man about the word objectively? Who remembers the objectively meme way back in the day? Who remembers the objectively meme way back in the day?
I can't
Type 1 if you
remember.
remember that shit, bro. Type 1 if you remember the objectively meme, bro. I'll pull it up in case.
Why does a degree matter? It matters because I would
Oh, someone in chat said it. All right, here, let's hear it, chat.
assume that somebody that doesn't have one is able to get information this confidently incorrect.
You don't. If there are people in here who don't.
What? Dude, there's so much college graduate that are just so bad. Like they like that you know, it's a decent metric to judge people's competence, sure, but it's not a determining factor. Like it's not like, okay, college graduate equates to this 100%. And you don't need a college degree to be good at gathering information and processing information and understanding wordings. What? Because You don't need to be in college for that. Like, you can learn that as a kid. What?
remember it, I'll pull that shit up. We'll watch it again. It was fucking hilarious. Okay, it seems like a lot of people remember. Okay, I think, damn, that's crazy. Twos, if we get enough twos, I will just go back to the objectively mean. But before I do,
Oh, I remember that. Objectively. Objectively. I remember that.
So Smack likes to think that because he got, I think he defined one word, and he's been using that as sort of justification to believe that whenever it comes to any interaction that we have,
I have a 40K college debt. You want to know what's funny, Prof T? This just, if Smack doesn't have a college degree, especially in the US, everybody knows the US is a little tricky when it comes to them student loan debts. Well, guess what? It just means he has no debt, and he's building a house now while having 2 kids and a partner. So, W Smack? You know, W Smack, baby. It's like, damn.
always correct. And this is one situation where he's so incorrect. He's so confidently incorrect in this matter that he just doxes me without thinking that he's doxed me. But he actually did do
Yo, what up, Rob Roy?
his moderator.
this guy, he doesn't know what objective means. This is another case of the same problem. He doesn't know what literally means now. It's like, do you know what literally means?
I do. And don't worry, we'll talk about it and show all the proof.
You said he literally doxed you. You're saying Loki Gacha is the guy. He took your private information, publicized it to the world to where everybody knows where you live, your home address, all that shit.
So, Smack seems to have a very, very, very specific definition of doxing, to the point where he believes that you have to have that type of personal information revealed. Smack.
Okay.
Doxing doesn't mean just the things that you listed. It doesn't mean just the personal address. It doesn't mean just the personal phone number. It doesn't mean just like these small categories that you decided to list out. That's when doxing becomes a crime. But you're actually able to dox people without going that far. For example, right, if we just think about like terminology like, I mean, I don't know, like assault, pushing somebody, or battery, right? Pushing somebody is considered battery. So is going at them with the machete. And you're basically saying, because Loki didn't go at me with the equivalent of a machete, that it's not doxing. Smack. Let me educate you a little bit over here about what the definition of doxing is, so that maybe you can add this to your portfolio of words that you can actually start using correctly. Let's take a look. Doxing, or doxing, with the 2 X's, is the act of publicly providing personally identifiable information about an individual or an organization, usually via the internet, and without their consent, and or with the intention of harassing or causing distress to the victim. Do you see anything in here about like addresses, all of that, like any of this stuff? No, right? It's just, it's kind of like a...
It seems pretty accurate considering what happened. But this applies to Loki and Foxhole, especially Foxhole.
General catch-all that can include a lot of things, but Smack seemed to have had a very specific definition of it, right? Historically,
but he's a public figure. This is where the nuance enters the room, right? Because since you are a public figure, since you have made the decision to publicize those pictures online, and you understanding the nature of the internet, especially the moment you decided to be a public figure as a creator, where you literally monetized the face reveal. Hello? Yo, chat. Something very important I feel like we should mention. To do the face reveal, you literally monetized that shit. You made a whole sub goal. People you monetized to get into face revealing. The very thing that made people cross-reference shit so that they can find you. When are you gonna hold some degree of accountability to the current outcome of doxing? I'm not saying it's okay for them to dox you. They should be... I'll be honest, that's why like a lot of people are looking at Loki and Fox so like, damn, I don't want the motherfuckers as enemies and shit. I don't know about that. Like they're kind of scary, Loki. But the fact is, you played a part in that result, whether it's your actions to antagonize them and also your actions in, one, putting your pictures in your profile pic, because we're all doxed. Technically, the moment you upload your own profile pic, like you're pretty much doxed, you're doxed yourself at that point. And 2, you literally was faceless. You made yourself have a face through literal monetization, and that very thing was used to get you doxxed. There's some accountability on you there too. You gotta hold some responsibility for that. Like, I'm not gonna demonize them completely when you also played a part in that.
To refer to both the aggregation of this information from public databases and social media websites, like Facebook, and the publication of previously private information obtained through criminal or otherwise fraudulent means. And so this is the thing. I'm not necessarily sure if this is where stuff was going, but remember how I mentioned that Loki Gacha first decided to publicly show information scrubbed from my social media that goes back up to 10 years ago, and Smack then decided to show that shit himself as well in front of all his viewers? Why don't I just spoil some of the stuff that you're going to be seeing on Smack's stream in a second over here? And the funny thing is that I don't really have to look any further than Smack's own DMs. And this is the unfortunate thing. I obviously don't feel very comfortable showing images like this of myself that were, again, scrubbed from my social media and are over like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But since Smack has already decided to show his entire channel, the VOD is public, all of those things, the fact that he decided to do that, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of just means that, well, I've got to go ahead and sort of fuck myself over too. And so this is what Smack and his moderator both decided to show either in a public video or on stream. Photos of me during my college graduation that were obtained from my non-public social media.
Okay, well, first of all, some social medias can be private, where if you accept a friend, only then can they see these pictures, which means someone in his friend list may have leaked them, right? So, again, like I said, they shouldn't take that, because here's the thing. Intent matters a lot. Foxsoul's intent and Loki's intent in sharing pictures like that. I think Loki is just showing the pics and DMs with Foxsoul. So technically, Foxsoul is the source, the origin of the doxing. Loki pushed that. You know what? Let's have them both. Like, why am I playing devil's advocate here? Let's have both of them. Sorry, Loki, tough. Let's have both of them there. Both of them are pushing this for the sake of what? For the sake of, like we said, we saw in the Wikipedia stuff. It created to create. The intent is to harm Saint. This is harmful. The intent is definitely harmful. They doxed him because they're trying to find dirt on him to, harm his online presence because he antagonized them. I'm not saying it's not deserved, but I'm saying like two wrongs don't make it right as well. So, hey, yo, what up, CJ? So, the fact of the matter is, first and foremost, when you put pictures online, you set yourself up for that. The moment you become a YouTuber, you set yourself up for that. The more you become a more controversial YouTuber, due to the very nature of the internet, typically we see this all the time. Chat, type 1 if you've seen this before. Type 2 if this is the first time you've ever seen this online about a controversial figure online. Motherfuckers will try to dox you immediately. You antagonize people online, they will want to dox your ass immediately. They will look for anything they can use against you. That's the nature of the environment we're in. Doesn't make it okay, but like I said earlier, you don't want to be approached by a gay guy, do not go to a gay bar. You don't want to get robbed in that one alley. You don't want to get robbed. Don't go to that one dark alley that is known for people getting robbed over there. This is very important. I'm not saying the robbers shouldn't get arrested. I'm not saying robbing is fine, once again, but some responsibility, some accountability to the victim. The victim isn't clear of all wrongs because they have the role of the victim in a situation. All right? I will keep saying this. First and also, second of all, most importantly, I think these are dope-ass picks. Hey, Saint kind of farming aura here on this one, I'm not gonna lie. These are some dope-ass... Look, hey, if y'all gonna dox my ass... Dude, when I got doxed, man, they found the craziest pics about me. They got some dope-ass pics about you, man. That's kind of a bit of a W, I'm not gonna lie.
This is Smack's mods VTuber avatar. And Smack proceeded to show this later in that exact stream that we were watching. And do you want to know where this is from? My Facebook. That is from my Facebook. And isn't it very fair to say that with a background like this that shows images of my college and, of course, other identifiable information like this, isn't that just considered doxing? Because
he makes a good point. Now, apparently Foxsoul addressed this because here's the big thing, because this is nuanced, obviously, because if it's public, as in social media, due to the very nature of social media being a public space, there's not much doxing because, well, it's a public space. Nothing in the public is technically, private. But like we said earlier, in social medias, especially in Facebook, unless you're added as a friend, you cannot see what the profile has. So like it could be just leaked. Now, apparently, it was public and then became private, is what I heard.
With a print stamp time date. I've been fucking more beautiful. I have a file.
Uh-oh. So we can confirm we have CJ having a Saintontas file, and Foxo also has a Saintontas file. Imagine having ops that have literal files of you. Like how? Why? Your ops be having files on you, my G? What the fuck?
With a print stamp time date on it for in case this happened.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Of his Facebook.
Uh-oh.
Of his Facebook. And I'm only going to show the first part. I'm only going to show, let me see. We're going to show in this.
He's going to show it. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, chat. Who is that bunny? It's a boo
The
from
showcase that it was public
ZZZ.
information. It wasn't private. It wasn't like someone was in there. They gave the private information.
Can we put Subway Surfers at the side? That's some hard that's some hard ADHD you got going on there, Prof G. Damn.
It was public. Before he deleted his Facebook,
Yeah, you can see it. Like add friend, and you can see the pics right there.
it was public. With the LinkedIn link that goes straight to his LinkedIn, with where he's from, everything.
Okay.
It was all there.
Well, I guess it's just public. Like the moment you find the name, which people can easily find by taking your face and cross-referencing it, they can find you. A lot of people have been known to do that, especially Fox. I think he works with the government and stuff. I think he knows a lot of people who's well connected to find someone, especially online. I do feel like personally the intent matters a lot. What makes doxing from what we saw earlier in the Wikipedia is the intent. They're trying to harm him by doxing and finding his public information. Now, whilst it's not illegal doxing, like he said, it still falls under the category, under the description of doxing. This is doxing. I think we can, chat, type 1 if you also agree that this is doxing, a form of doxing. Type 2 if you're like, nah. I understand the nuance, hence why I'm asking the question, but I feel like it leans more on doxing than not doxing, because they are actively looking for it with the intent to use that information to harm him, right? So if we use that, is it really that bad? But what I mean by that is, does all the fault fall on them? Well, the answer is no, of course, because you, like I said earlier, you have a public Facebook profile, right? A public Facebook profile, and you literally monetized your face reveal, the very thing they probably used to find you with. Or it could have literally been after Mr. Pokey's copyright strike and the whole copyright lawsuit going on, people simply found your name, and as soon as they have a name and a face, that's it. You're doxxed. You're literally doxxed.
So I'm guessing the way you got it, his stuff, is just by reverse image searching his face, right?
Yeah.
That was one way.
I told you he played the part in getting doxxed, bro. The very face reveal you monetized is what got your ass doxxed, bro. You don't want to get doxxed? Do not put your face online, man. It is really that easy. I told you, chat. I told you. He cross-referenced that bitch. Because you can find someone with their face.
Okay, so I've got a chatter claiming in here that apparently Saint said that you added one of his friends on Facebook to get the images that were privated.
No.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
What actually just happened is you got his name from either the college or the lawsuit, and then you found
Let me
his
go through the
publicly
history.
available-
Let me go through the history.
Okay.
All right. So at this point in time, yes, before the copyright claims came through, you have a bunch of CCs that Saintontas is already pissed off.
Yes.
Yeah, Skull, CJ, Cap the Cabins, everyone else, and you got basically Mr. Pokey that is in the middle of the process of trying to get information and everything else.
Yeah.
The thing here that ended up happening is the CC started talking to one another, and when people got information, we got information directly from friends who were in the gacha circle with Saintontas. Now,
Okay.
the name that he has was already leaked
Oh,
by Saintontas himself.
What? When the fuck was that?
That was back in June 13th of 2025, which you'll not find a clip of this stream anymore, because the reason is he deleted the VOD and he deleted the clips, where his League of Legends account he was playing League of Legends, and his Overwolf or whatever, when his hard drive had an issue because it was filled up from the recordings, popped up on the screen with his C username, and it said Sung Ho as the user ID.
Do not fuck with the. So this is like the equivalent of the notepad. No, the guy's notepad. What was his name again? I forgot. You know, the guy that's like people are saying he's a PDF because of the notepad. It's like the equivalent of that shit. Like you're just sitting there minding your own business. Some shit pops off out of nowhere that just puts you in hot waters. So his PC doxed him. So the Saint's computer doxed him. God damn, boy. What the fuck is going on, man? His own computer doxed him, bro. Jesus.
Who you think is the fucking person that would have all the other information that gave it to Pokey?
Hey, yo.
I don't know.
Who dated him?
Oh, wow. Okay, yep. Cabinets, yep. All right, yeah.
So from that, Like the character.
Only the name, yeah. So she gave him the full name. So she gave them the full name.
What a bitch! What a nasty, vile fucking cunt!
I know, man. She doxed your ass, bro.
Because Rom is representing Saintontas. So since he is the attorney of Saintontas, you don't need to have Saintontas' fucking address. You just need to send it straight to Rom because he's representing him as good as that's as good of an address as you fucking need. Rom came back to Pokey and said, "I cannot accept this because I don't represent Saintontas as a client. All it was done is I was hired to write a counter notification claim that you need to go to the client directly."
Okay.
So this
So he lost H3H3's lawyer. Well, shit.
right here is when I told this to Pokey, I told this to several other people that, oh, well, this sounds like this is a game to where what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to weigh out, be like, oh, well, if as long as he doesn't have an address and he doesn't have a name, he can't file a counterclaim. So in 10 days, you're free, you're clear, and you're good to go. Means at that point in time,
they were trying to avoid the lawsuit entirely by playing games with Pokey and not giving him the address.
Exactly. That is exactly how it was going down.
Which is good lawyering.
So from there, you have an external source that is being basically, trashed on, who was a good friend that, relatively speaking, someone just had to talk, explain the situation, and she provided the details to Pokey of what he needed. And from there, because everyone's helping out, yeah, we got the last name. Now, also, the last name was just another thing that we found out, and this is through Twitch chat log. The original name of Saintontas is Wai Wu.
What a boomer thing to do. Oh my god.
Yo, what up, Hayuki? Wait, what the fuck?
That we found out, and this is through Twitch chat log.
Oh, no.
The original name of Saintontas is Wai Wu.
What a boomer thing to do. Oh my god.
He put his name in his original fucking name for Saintontas and changed the name to Saintontas.
You guys didn't dox him at all, no matter what, even if it was privately shared. He doxed himself by having his last name as a username, that which can.
So it wasn't even cap. Like, you could literally find it in the goddamn name. You can find it in the logs. First and foremost, we gotta realize the detective work is crazy here, Chad. The detective work is crazy. Y'all, I didn't even know we could do that. You can see the logs and with the name changes someone had in their profile. That's crazy. I mean, this is some stalker shit. Hey, this is the thing, Knock. Don't piss off people online, especially the chronically online. Do not piss them off. Do not do that.
And when we all put the information together, we figured it out. Now, the Facebook, like I said, I didn't add no one as a friend. The Facebook, the LinkedIn, everything was all public.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess they're just repeating the same thing here. So yeah, I guess ultimately, the doxing in itself isn't necessarily completely the ops' fault. Saint obviously had a huge hand in people finding that very information. So one might argue it's a form of doxing with malicious intent, of course, but Saint obviously played a huge part there because he made their lives a lot easier. So the lesson to all this people drama is don't throw stones if you don't want to get hit back. Cinefe, thank you very much for that. I think you just hit the nail on the head. The main message of all this is, well, like I said earlier, considering how, just say somewhat, disgusting, I guess is the only term I can use. Disgusting the implications Saintontas is doing currently. I think a huge step back and looking again at the entire situation and the mannerism he's going on tackling this entire situation is going to be key going forward when it comes to the PR of Saintontas in the space. I'm afraid without that, things will just keep escalating further and further. I'm pretty sure Smack will probably have to tackle this because the implications are so fucking crazy, but in due time. If he does, of course. I'm pretty sure he might. I would even argue we might even see Tectone being dragged into this again. There's a good chance because a lot of people are going to look at him and go, is this your boy? Especially Saint going after Smack, who also Smack happens to be in good terms with Tech. So we keep having the same issue, and it's always the one person instigating and creating this entire thing. It's like I said at the start, when it comes to this drama, Saint is definitely the main character. Like, a lot of people like to poke fun at him for the main character. He is. He's currently the one guy that keeps perpetuating this and this to keep happening again and again and again. And the more we move, the worse it gets in how he goes about it. So it's sad to see, man. It's truly, truly sad to see. But this is the current situation we have right now. Chat, any closing thoughts? Moral of the story, don't set your glue sniffers if you don't want to get sniffed yourself. You said it, not me. As well as make sure they do a good job, because over here, we're going to do some fact checking. And it turns out a lot of the glue the people gave you are timestamps with, if you paint a certain, with certain context, can be perceived differently, but it's obviously a lie because it wasn't about Ameth, considering the picture you were trying to paint of disgusting picture you were trying to paint of Smack, but rather it was Lupa, an entirely different character. So, and also when it comes to the doxing, it wasn't private, it was public. Like if you're gonna show stuff like that, if you're gonna say stuff like that, you have to be able to back them up. And the reality is, some of us are gonna do their due diligence and gonna look at the glue exactly for what it is and call it out as such. So yeah. I guess, unfortunately, the title of this video is going to be Saintontas went crazier. Oh, so I guess Saintontas caught lying and went even crazier. Yep, guess that basically sums it up. I think at this point, Smack's screen literally has finish him. This is Smack's screen right now. All he needs to do is input, and we have a fatality. Like it's over. It's over. I think Saint just literally cooked himself with this one. So yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be seeing you.